I usually eat, drink, do everything with table tennis because at home we just talk about table tennis. And that was a prototype we made on Tableau that this is how the data can look like. This will be the form of visualization we can use to show to the players. Sports training using performance analytics.
Oh,
So we
wow.
were just figuring out, a kind of a good full form, and then we just tried to, abbreviate it, and then we found that it's a good name, and it's in Hindi also. It means a lot.
Hi everyone. Today we have got Megha Gambhir with us, the founder of Stupa Analytics. So welcome Megha to Pack Talks with VJCV.
Thank you so much, Vijay, for having me here, and I really like the way you're working on this particular segment of. Giving that kind of attraction to the entrepreneurs as well who are young and willing to do something. So thank you so much for having me here.
When I started reading about Megha Gambhir, the person, so I could see that you started off in physics, or you did a BSc in physics, and then you moved to IT, and then you did the course in IT and all, and you have been working with IT companies for quite some time. I think more than 12 years. How has been that experience from being a person who from a general science background and then moving to IT?
The journey has been amazing, and I think when God has plans for you, so you automatically actually just tends to move towards it. That's what I have felt. When I was, in my college, I did BSc, where my subjects were physics, chemistry, and mathematics. And I was, having no sort of interest in going into tech sort of industry. I was planning to do something in an MBA sort of thing, but then just after the college, I got a campus placement in HCL, which is a technology company, and then thereof I started my career into technology, and I really liked the work while I was going into it. And slowly, I moved on to Cognizant and then to Ernst and Young, and I was very lucky to actually got a good exposure. I have worked with many renowned clients like World Bank and United Nations while I was in Ernst and Young. And while I was in EY, that was my last company, and I was working with World Bank. Somewhere, it was going in my head actually that I want to do something of my own. But what that was, there was no clue of it, that what I have to do of my own. So I just left my job. I thought that I'll explore. I'll take a break. I'll explore what I have to do, and then I'll start something. And that's how it all started. I just left my job. I took a break. I just explored. I went into trekking. I did a lot of traveling during that time, during that 1 year break. And then, my husband is a former, national level table tennis player. So my connection to table tennis is very strong because I'm seeing table tennis from past 15 years since we are dating in college. So I have seen table tennis. I usually eat, drink, do everything with table tennis because at home we just talk about table tennis. So that's how my interest was already there. It's just that when I left my job, and he also was looking some sort of analytics to be there in table tennis because there was nothing when he was figuring out. And he himself have worked with the national team of India as well. He's the former coach of our national team. So while he was traveling and roaming around, so he just figured out that there is a strong need of analytics into table tennis, like in other sports. And that's how we landed up into this because I come from a technology background and he is from a sports background. So we thought of merging both of our fields together, and then we brought this concept of sports tech, sports analytics in table tennis. We started our first product in table tennis as of now, and we plan to expand it into multiple other sports later on.
Great. So that's how Stupa Analytics came up.
Yes, that's the journey. That's the history actually
Great.
behind it.
Awesome stuff. Any particular reason for the name Stupa?
Okay, so actually, behind the name also, yes, there is a story. So we actually were looking around for a very good name, and Stupa actually, why we picked up Stupa is because we were thinking that people can train by using performance analytics. So we were, putting a full form that Stupa, sports training using performance analytics.
Oh,
So we
wow.
were just figuring out, a kind of a good full form, and then we just tried to, abbreviate it, and we found that it's a good name, and it's in Hindi also. It means a lot. It's like a stoop. It's a, huge building. So that's how we thought that why not to put this name. It actually resembles our dream also to make this or take this higher. So that's the story behind the name.
So it's like any person who wants to get into sports can get associated with Super Athletics and keep growing.
Yes, yes. While I moved into, sports industry when I was talking to my, husband regarding what sort of data they need, I actually read a lot about performance analytics after that. I studied, I did online courses. I tried to understand how usually performance analysis happens, what sort of data is needed, what are the key, performance indicators for a sport, and how usually our data can be, used to derive a lot of, just wonderful insights. So that was when when a year when I took a break, I actually started studying also a lot about analytics, through online courses and through books as well. And that's how, I could use that knowledge in Stupa after that.
Awesome. So coming to Super Analytics, so when you decided to start Super Analytics, did you straight away went ahead and started a company and said, okay, we are here, Super Analytics, come be with us to start analytics journey, or you actually took time to develop the product? Uh, you spent some time before starting the company.
So, it was not like that we just came out in the market with a product. It took a long time for us. In 2018, when I left when I started this company, it was founded in 2019, actually, January, but I started work prior to it. And when I started working on it, it wasn't that much easy. What I did was basically took help of some of the, good experts, coaches in table tennis. One was my husband, but there were some other folks as well. Like one of the coach, right now who's the elite coach in ITTF, International Table Tennis Federation, Massimo Constantini. So he was, very willing to actually, give some help to me in order to understand the KPIs, the key performance indicators of the game. So I started with him actually. Knowing, understanding the know-hows of what are the important things. And what I did was the very basic thing. I took a couple of matches. I started notating the data. Then I used Tableau for visualizing the data, visualization of the data. So that's how after a couple of months, I think approximately 6 to 8 months, it took, that much time it took for us to come out with a prototype. That was a prototype we made on Tableau, that this is how the data can look like. This will be the form of visualization we can use to show to the players. This can be the key performance indicators, and this can be the data driven insights. So once, it was out, it was approximately in the month of March 2019. And right after, the prototype was out, it got traction actually. I got invited by ITTF Sports Science Congress in their 16th Sports Science Congress, which was there in Budapest, Hungary. And then they asked me to present my work there. And then after that, the journey was a little different, because right after that, I got a lot of traction. I was invited by Japan Table Tennis Association. We got a project of broadcasting, which is of Ultimate Table Tennis, which is the biggest league in India we have for table tennis. And then after all this, actually, then I started working on creating the actual product, which is right now available. So this year, February, we launched the final product. Eventually Stupa formed last year in Jan, but we could launch the final product, which is there in the market right now with the people, was in Feb this year.
Okay, great. So you spoke about covering sports events as part of the initial days of Stupa Analytics. So what exactly you were doing? You were doing the complete coverage of the event, or how it was?
So we did, Ultimate Table Tennis League, which was, happened in last year, July and August. And what we used to do is that So, I mean, in table tennis, like, I mean, like in cricket, you might have seen that a lot of statistics comes out, I mean, on the screen, on TV, right? When they are being broadcasted on Star Sports or any other channels. So you see that a lot of graphical representations and from which side of the cricket,
Yeah,
I mean,
scoring the
the
runs and
pitch,
things like
yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. So those kind of a stats actually, because we were, I mean, doing something very similar to it in table tennis, but we were very new. I mean, there was no one else right now actually was doing something in table tennis like this. So we presented it to Ultimate Table Tennis, and they really liked, I mean, the concept. So what we did was it we actually we were the data mining partners for them. So we provided all the statistics that were coming on air on screen for Star Sports. I mean, it was broadcasted on Star Sports, and for all those 18 days, I mean UTT while it was happening. So all the I mean statistics regarding to I mean what are the winners the players are actually making? Are there foreign winners? How many back end winners? And what is the rally length? From which side of the table they are winning the points? And then what is the kind of serve they are doing? What is the kind of receive they are doing? So also statistics we capture, and then I mean we worked with UTT, and that was coming on screen live for people to watch and understand the statistics of the game.
Great. You spoke about data mining, right? It's a great term to use because currently we have got enormous amount of data, and people started off talking about big data at least 4 5 years back, and now everyone is pretty much used to at least hearing the word data mining. With sports, there is a lot of importance which comes in terms of mining the data instantly and putting it across on the screen. So, do you churn the data instantly by looking at the games and then put it on the screen? How do you do that?
So basically, I mean, it was instantly coming on the screen. What we did was we created a platform through which, I mean, we had scouts sitting on the field of play who were capturing the data real time, and then it was right away. I mean, within fraction of seconds, it was popping up on the screen. That's how we were doing. And when we talk about data mining, so we did a lot of work on mining their historic performances as well. So whoever the players who were playing in the league, we actually tend to actually capture a lot of statistics and data from their previous matches, from their historic matches they have played in past seasons, so that we can bring up a lot of more insights. For the viewers and for the people who are watching it, and this data mining part we have done prior to start of the beginning of the UTT. So the data mining from the historic matches we have done prior to when UTT was started, and during the UTT we were purely focused on the data capturing or the mining part of what exactly is happening on the field of play. So that
Great,
was, the thing which we were doing.
nice. Table tennis sport itself is a very fast-paced game, and it just if you blink, you miss the rally and things like that. Okay, so it's really fast. Currently, how do you capture the data in terms of, because the game happens really fast? So other than your whatever the what you call stupas, uh, patented things or things like that, which you don't want to reveal. But other than that, for a normal person, how do you do this?
So actually, I'll tell you that there are two things. One is that the current software which we have is that we allow people to upload their video in a mobile app, and once they upload it, we receive the match, and then we have a software in which the data gets captured. Okay, it takes a little time. It is approximately, the turnaround time we actually give it to people is 2 to 3 days. Although usually the match, the turnaround time, the actual turnaround time is lesser. It's about 4 to 6 hours. During the software captures it, and then it gets processed, and then people can see the results in their mobile app. However, we are now coming up with another version of our product, which is using more advanced technology, artificial intelligence, computer vision, and we will be launching it. We will be launching around the month of September or October. We will be launching a beta version where we actually give access of using the tool real time to the people. So right now, for example, if someone is playing a match, they once they play, they upload a match, and then it reaches to us, and our software takes a little time to actually do that analytics on top of it, and then we return it back. However, in the next version, how we are planning to move is that, I mean, they can just place the camera, they can record in the mobile app itself, and right then and there, they need not to do anything else. They will get all the statistics. So even they can get the real time ball speed, ball trajectory, where the ball is bouncing, heat maps, from where they're giving the errors. So all such things we are bringing into it, and we'll be launching a new version by September and October this year. So that will be a beta version. I think the final version will be launching out by end of this year.
Great. So you spoke about players uploading their videos and things like that. So just to understand a little bit in detail in terms of the software that happens at the back end. So does that capture the movement of the body movement of the players as well? Because in table tennis, because the racket is very small and the hand movement, it like you hardly notice it, the hand movement happening, whether it's a forehand, backhand, whatever it is. When they play very close to the body, you are actually not able to. If you're not a uh, actual player, it's very difficult for you to understand what is happening. So how does your software capture that?
So we usually capture each and everything of a player because it was actually when I started working on my own initially when we were creating the prototype. We made sure that we are capturing and we are being exhaustive as much as we can because this will allow us to use whatever data we want, and we can probably do whatever we want with with it with the data. So we made our tools very exhaustive while capturing the data. We capture each and everything. In fact, we can even get out, get the things like, what sort of movement errors they are giving, what sort of exactly the strokes they are playing, and are they giving points while hitting into the net or outside of the table, or where are the, what kind of service they are using, what is the spin they are using in their service, what type of receive serve returns, what type of other things. All the kind of uh, Bible of table tennis. We are trying to capture each and everything. So we are trying to be exhaustive as much as we can.
So how many players have been using your software till now?
So right now, so we have just launched it in the month of February this year. Although we were, having people who were using it from last year as well. The prototype or the first cut of the product. So in fact, when I just founded this company with the prototype itself, I had a couple of clients, and then we just built another version of it. Then also we got some clients. So from this year February, the product is out, and we have a very good traction. We have signed up with ITTF as well. ITTF is a parent body, it's the International Table Tennis Federation. So through ITTF, we are working with the top 35 world ranked players actually, who are part of their with Future in Mind scheme. So ITTF is sponsoring them this match analysis service from us. So straight away these top 35 world ranked players are our clients. Other than that, we have approximately more than 100 of users. So far, although we were expecting more number of users, but because of COVID, right after February when we launched the dip happened and all these
Yes.
sports event got cancelled, and we were having we were expecting a very good response in these few months. But then, yeah, that was the number we were having in the month of February and March, approximately 100 users, and that's we're still having.
Okay, great. So since you spoke about COVID, so and you launched the product in February, and there are a lot of startups who were like who were in the brink of starting a product, or rather started a product, and they didn't know what to do because the market has crashed completely, and no one had thought something like this would have happened. So looking back, if things would have been normal and we didn't have any situation like this, I think Stupa Analytics would have been a great product to get associated with the Olympics Association and the table tennis matches which would have happened during those times.
Yeah, definitely yes. See, but we are not disheartened also by COVID because we have actually shifted our plans right now. What we are doing is that because we were anyways planning to launch our AI product this year end, and we were thinking that probably our current product can be used by many of the people, and then we launch the AI version of it. But now we feel that it would be good for us also that we are, just coming up with our, AI version, which is going to give, the customers and the players as well, and the federations and the people who are preparing for the Olympics as well, more and more sort of, data-driven insights. So, in this situation of COVID, yeah, it's a difficult time for everyone, and I think for all the startups, especially because they're just budding right now, and it is it is difficult for them, and for us also, because we also have a good team, and then we are bootstrapped at this moment, and we are looking for raising funds as well. So it definitely is difficult. But then I feel that it is about how you manage and how you actually take care of things. And this is how we are trying to deal with the situation. We are trying to work on the product as much as we can, and also we are working on a lot much of social media creative content and fan engagement and brand awareness as well. So that's how we think we can utilize these couple of months while we are coming up with the new version as well, and while the market is not up. So why not to work on these areas? Why not to make our product ready? Why not to make our team prepared for all the social media marketing and brand awareness and making people aware about performance analytics, coaches aware about all these things. So we are taking this time to actually work on all these areas.
Awesome. So you are in news for the last say 7 to 8 days time. As soon as the news came out of your tie-up with US Table Tennis Association. So how did you get associated with them in terms of because you were part of ITTF, so that did that help you, or did someone specifically approach you to get associated with them? How it was?
So, so I believe that USA, they have a very refreshing perspective. They are very much open, and I personally also, when I met the CEO of CEO of USATT, Virginia Sound, I realized that they're actually looking for some sort of this thing. So I actually went to USA in November last year because of, some of the things, and then I just ended up meeting them. And while I met her, I had a conversation about my product, and I gave an overview about it. So since then, the conversations were going on. However, the product was not there in the market yet. By that time. So they were also waiting that when we are launching the product. So after that, they can probably think about our collaboration. So that's how it all started. And I personally feel that they were pretty much open about using this analytics. Their main two players, Lily Zhang and Kanak Jha, they were already using the analytics as well. So that gives them more and more comfort as well, and more and more sort of confidence of using this analytics for their national team. So that's how it all started, and I'm glad that we partnered with them because it's a very good milestone which we have achieved.
Great. So what all facilities or what all the uh, products that they will be using from Super Analytics?
So they will be using the current products which we have in the market. That is one is math analysis and one is practice analysis. One math analysis is basically analyzing one match, and then analyzing each and everything of that particular match. Practice or training analysis is more related to getting the information and insights about your techniques and your body biomechanics and all that. So that is a separate analysis, and that's more relevant for the beginners and the players who are doing more and more practice and trying to actually make their game better in terms of techniques and right techniques and getting the right body biomechanics. So these are the two products right now they are using, but they are very keen actually to. They are very eagerly waiting for our AI product, which we are planning to launch because this seems to be making more real time analytics, and it will reduce the dependency right now they have on reaching out to us and then wait for next 2 days and all that. So they're eagerly waiting for our upcoming product as well.
Sports, at the end of the day, it's always a competitive thing that happens, be it between the players, between the leagues, between the nations. All right. So how do you take care of the privacy of the data or the privacy of the player information that comes into you?
So yeah, so that's a, I mean, very well, I mean, very good question. So we do take care of it because we know that we are dealing with a lot of data, which is actually related to the players, their personal data, and also their professional data of matches they have been playing. So yeah, so we are following all the, I mean, compliances and all the privacy and confidentiality related things. And we make sure that whatever data is coming to us, that is safe. And I mean, we are following all the, I mean, we are actually adhering to all the, I mean, policies and compliance related things which are there, needed for GDPR or ISO. So yeah, so we are following all those things.
So now you have tied up with US Table Tennis Association. Are there any other association who have touched base with you in the last 1 week time?
We are already actually talking to some of the associations prior to that itself. I mean, a couple of federations in Europe. I cannot name them, but yes, I mean, we are already talking to some of the federations in Europe, and it was even before USA. I mean, this news came out, and yeah, so I mean, all these conversations are going on, and I personally feel that because this is, I mean, the first of its kind product which we are bringing out in the market, and I'm sure that, I mean, many of the federations in table tennis will definitely be using it, and we are trying to be, I mean, as much economical as we can, and making it available with to all the users, just not to pros. We want it to use by not many of advanced or amateurs or beginners as well. So I think that this will, I mean, take a good traction, and we will definitely sign with the many other federations
Great.
going forward.
How can I start using Stupa Analytics? So I want to start playing table tennis and improve my game. So how do I start using Stupa Analytics?
So basically, our plan is to make this platform a holistic platform for everything. I mean, it is just not going to be an analytics platform for table tennis players. So we are bringing a lot many good features into it. We are actually have tied up with a couple of good and expert coaches who will be there in the panel, and we will be creating a, I mean, panel of coaches within the app itself, where anyone who's, for example, is playing in a far flung area, for example, somewhere in India or maybe somewhere in Tanzania or any other location. So they can actually connect to the professionals and connect to the coaches. They can take advices, they can take their training plans. So we are also trying to actually set up an online sort of coaching or a training mechanism as well. I mean, in the app. Along with that, we are also bringing in a lot of fitness specific things. So we are also working on artificial intelligence in terms of body biomechanics and fitness. And we are also bringing in our own online fitness solutions and online sports physiotherapy consultancy as well. So right now, for example, if someone wants to use it, so any amateur or beginner can usually take their, I mean, do their training and practice analysis, which is more related to their training, and then they can get some advices or feedback from the coaches panel, and they can probably get their, I mean, biomechanics or fitness testing done from the sports panelists, which we will be having on the app. And then based on the analytics, I mean, for example, they are getting their practice analysis, or they are getting their match analyzed. So from all the analysis, whatever feedback is coming out of it, either they can use it or their coach can actually use it, or they can take the help of our panelists to make use of further feedback. So we are trying to actually develop a holistic platform wherein they can come, they can get the feedback, and they can get the advice and the and along with the feedback, they can get the advice and the solution oriented programs as well to help them in, I mean, train and help them become much better. And you might have seen that there are many, I mean, players. I'm not talking about pro, but there are many, I mean, table tennis lovers who just play for fun. Those are amateurs or veterans. I mean, and they do not have access to, I mean, too much of a coaching, I mean, sort of thing, because probably it might be far from their players, or maybe they're not having good coaches, or maybe it is quite expensive. So, I mean, that way we feel that it can be a good sort of solution for them as well. They can just probably get along with our panelists, and then they can get good understanding, and they can use our AI product as well to get real time feedback as well.
Okay. Is this available both on Android as well as iOS? That is one. And secondly, to start using it, do I need to pay something to start using this?
Yeah, so it's available on both iOS and Android. And it yes, there is a charge. Right now it is based on matches and practice sessions. So whatever practice session you want to analyze, you need to pay for it. You need to buy if you want to analyze a single match, or if you want to, for example, analyze 5 matches or 5 practice sessions. So you can just buy the pack and then upload your videos. However, we are going to change this a little once we have the beta version out. And once we have our educational tutorials and our panelists also set in the app. So we'll be going to make it a subscription based model wherein you can buy a monthly subscription and you can have access to some of the panelists, and you can probably give certain number of X amount of matches, and you can analyze some of the matches through AI real time. So all such of sort of thing we are planning to come out in our next version.
So, in this, the player has to upload his video, right? So, does he need to use some special camera to capture the game, or he can just use his mobile to capture the match and then he can upload it?
No, he can use a normal mobile camera.
Table Tennis Federation of India. Okay, so that's what been there for helping the Indian table tennis players uh, develop and improve and be competitive enough to go and get medals for India. So, is there a talk happening with them, or at some point in time, do we see Stupa and Letis getting associated with the Table Tennis Federation of India?
Yeah, definitely yes. It's not that we haven't spoken. So I already had conversations with TTFI as well. It's just that it is taking a little time to get materialized, but eventually it will, because right now because of the COVID situation also, and even before also, they were waiting to have a coach for Indian team, and they wanted to have a kind of a synchronized method of using analytics by having a coach in between, and then that coach can actually spread it across to the different players. So yeah, so the conversations are going on, and I think eventually after some time it will get materialized once they also have a clarity how they want to use it, and what is the way usually they want to take it forward to. So yeah.
You and your husband both have been there in this particular sport, table tennis, for the last, say, 14, 15 years, as you said. And your husband being a national player, you would have seen the sport very closely. So, how have you seen the Indian table tennis game improving in the last, say, 10 to 12 years? How has it changed? And because we can currently see that there are a lot of players who are actually going out there and giving a tough fight to people across the globe. So how has the improvement happened over the years?
I think the improvement have been amazing. If you see, there is a lot much traction, and the kind of uh, even the interest of the people as well has increased. With the performance the Indian team has given in their 2018 year in in Commonwealth, and also in the Asian Championships as well. So that year was, amazing. It was, the performance was tremendously, good. So yeah, so the game is actually improving. In fact, when I speak usually to Deepak, my husband, so he, often tells that yeah, now the awareness about all the other aspects in the sports. Just not the technical training. For example, your physical assessment, your physical training, your mental conditioning, and your sports physiotherapy and yoga, your flexibility. So all such things are right now. I feel that all the players have taken this seriously. I remember when I used to travel with him during the tournaments, the national tournaments. I never have seen people doing good exercises before their matches or after their matches. But I've seen a change. And the kind of psychology and mentality of the players as well. That from past 3 4 years, I'm seeing that people actually spend which should be the case actually. Before their match, they are spending a lot of time in warming up their body, and then they have many of the players are having their own mental conditioning coach, and as well as even in fact the coaching also have taken a huge shift. There has been many good centers. We have seen that have come up during last couple of years who have good coaches as well. But I personally feel that my own opinion that still there is a long way. Still there is a lot of people and a lot of Janta who are playing table tennis is still not going scientifically. I mean, even if I talk about performance analytics, it's still away from them. I personally feel that because I mean, in outside India, it is it is very easy for us to make them understand, or they I mean people or players actually do some sort of analytics. I mean, either the coaches are doing it or the players are doing it. Either even if they are doing it manually, but they are doing some sort of things on their own, and they understand the importance of it. But I think in India, it will take a little time. To get a prize of all these scientific backings as well. But there is a huge sort of shift in the kind of their performance and the kind of openness they have. But still, there is a long way to go. That's what I feel.
The associations who are in India looking at sports. I think this is high time to look at technology as a key area to invest and help players who are associated with them to grow. Because at the end of the day, if you are not analyzing and going back to the players and telling them, okay, this is the area that you are strong and this is your areas of weakness and you have to improve them, and how do you do that? That too using a technology tool rather than just using a person to look at you and tell things. If there is a technology that also can enhance, I'm not saying that you have to completely remove that human angle to that, but technology can actually aid in terms of helping that. So it's going to be a great thing going ahead, because I think every country is leveraging that, and I think it's high time India also must. I
Yes.
think they have already started using that, but in a big way, we should start looking at that as well.
Yeah, I personally also feel that, in many other sports, in fact, like cricket, yes, it is being highly used at the moment. And you see, there's a shift. No player, I think, in cricket won't be using it. There are, very real time examples available. But in many other sports in India also, there is, we are still going by a very manual method. And in many of the sports, it's not even being used. And I personally feel that a coach definitely, is definitely a good feedback. That can provide a good feedback. But then a coach cannot remember everything. It's a human brain, right? There is a study also which says that when a coach is sitting behind a match, he can only remember 30% of the things out of a match after it. And those 30% also will be related to some unusual events which happen in a match. If there is some event happen in a match, so those 30% things also will be relating to that. So it is very important to actually have a usage of data, because it is just not being used in sports industry now. Data analytics is being used in many different industries. All the industries are using data analytics now to understand the behavior pattern and find out what are the strengths and weaknesses. And I think for a player and a coach, they have a limited time to get trained, right? And uh, so if they are actually training and optimizing their time, if they are training very specifically, and if they know that what exactly they have to work on, they will definitely have better results than any other. So it's like a smart work rather than, you do hard work as well, but it is like a smart work you're doing.
Yeah, I like the way you put it across in terms of here. People should start doing smart work rather than hard work. So I will quickly come to the last three or four questions and we can wind up. So one, you spoke about fitness and the importance of fitness in sports. Do you think that the last 3 to 4 years, I think yes, in India the focus has moved from cricket to other sports as well in the last 5 to 6 years. But having said that, definitely cricket is the main sport that happens in India. So cricketers in the last 4 to 5 years have been very fitness freaks, and people who follow cricket and the current generation of the players in cricket, they are. showcasing that fitness level as well. So, does that actually help in other sports?
I personally feel that fitness is a very important component. And while I'm already working with our own sports physiotherapist who's with Deepak, my husband. So he is into table tennis from past 6 years, and he's worked with many other other sports as well. He has worked with Indian team also, Indian sailing team and hockey team. So, while I actually, work with him, and I understand his point of view. Is I personally, also feel that it's very important because every sport is have a particular movement which is required. For example, table tennis has its own, body language or what sort of, strokes we have to play. And it has a particular movement involved into it. Squash has another movement, and probably lawn tennis has another movement. Boxing has another movement. So it's very important that we should be having fitness involved because, and we should be doing specific fitness because right now I feel that, yes, in cricket, there's a lot of fitness, is happening and people are definitely fitness freak, but they also focus on what type of fitness it is needed, right? Probably as a soccer player, you need a lot of endurance, but maybe, as a TT player, you would not require that much of endurance. Probably you require more agility and explosiveness. So that's the kind of understanding it should be there in the players and also as well as in their, fitness trainers as well. And I personally feel that, a person who's a sports physiotherapist can be a good fitness trainer because they can understand what muscles are in use for a particular sport, and according to them, they can, derive that kind of a particular exercise program or a fitness program that can help prevent the injuries because of the overusage of a particular movement, and also will help strengthen the particular muscles which are required. So just not being a fitness freak is enough, or just not doing a random fitness is enough. That's my feeling. You need to be doing a proper understanding of what biomechanics or what exactly the body movements are needed by a sport, and then only focus on strengthening those areas and working towards preventing, injury prevention of those areas only.
Very rightly put across. Uh, so you spoke about different sports, squash, lawn tennis, and things like that. So Stupa and Lettuce is planning to get into all these sports at some point in time.
Yeah, definitely, yes. So we do have plans. So we are planning that by this year we should be able to completely focus on table tennis. But next year we are planning to bring up, our next product, which will be in other racket sports, precisely because it will be very easy for us to just transfer the technology into another racket sports. So yes, so badminton is in our radar, the very next sport which we want to pick, and then after that we want to pick squash and lawn tennis.
You being a female entrepreneur and you are in the market, so how does that help, or what are the challenges that you might have faced uh, during the course of your journey?
Uh, I think it's a very tricky question because, see, I personally belong to a family where women have given a lot much of preference. I think even more than men. We are two sisters in our family. My sister is an IFS officer. You might have heard her name as well. She's Enam Gambhir, and so she's well, known in her career, and me also is now making a mark as a woman entrepreneur. So I personally feel that, I mean, uh, there are definitely difficulties. People look at you from a different angle, but I think what you carry is very important, which is your confidence and your belief in yourself. It wasn't easy for me to take a call at that point in time when I was doing a very good job, and I was working in EY to actually leave that career and start something of my own. But I have good supporting system from my family as well. My parents and my husband, they both, trusted me, and then they just asked me that, okay, whatever you want to do, you want to take a break, or you want to, try something else, you can do it. So I think that kind of a confidence and trust has to be there, and should be given to everyone. It's just not about being woman or a man. I personally feel that that should be the confidence the family should be giving in to the people who wants to do something differently. That's one. And if I talk about specifically as a woman entrepreneur, I personally feel that I tend to inspire women around me. They feel good and they feel motivated, and that's something I think I have achieved during this couple of years because I'm making some other women to think about making their leading career in sports or making their leading career in entrepreneurship is something my actually a kind of a gift to all the women out there.
Awesome. It's great to listen to that in terms of one, in terms of going out and showing that, okay, you can do things, and that definitely in the last few years things have changed drastically, and we can see a lot of female entrepreneurs coming out and coming out with a lot of startups. And then you see this as a way in which you are inviting other women around you to come and take up more challenges in life and be confident about what you do.
Yes, yes.
Great, great. Uh, you launched this Stupa Analytics almost 1.5 years back, and now with the association with the US Table Tennis Association, you are in news currently in the last say 10 days time. Which I would consider for a startup, it's a great milestone that you have achieved. How do you feel about the milestone that you have achieved, and what is the next major milestone that you are aiming at?
So I think this, what we have achieved so far, it definitely we are honored to partner with them, and it's a big milestone for us. And in fact, it's just not USATT. Like we partnered with ITTF as well. Well before USATT, but then, we actually the news release could not happen because I was supposed to go to their World Championship and then personally sign the contract, and then we were planning to do a press release for it, but it didn't happen because of COVID. But I think signing ITTF and USATT is the biggest thing could happen to the startup, because these are the two biggest sort of clients. We have USA has a huge fan following of TT and has a huge TT sort of players as well. And ITTF being a parent body, association with them is definitely an honor. So I personally feel that within these 2 years, we have achieved quite good, and we are not stopping here. The plan is basically to actually capture all the TT market and then eventually move into another sports. And I personally feel that the kind of technology right now we are working on, bringing artificial intelligence and making it more economical to be used by each and everyone through their mobile cameras itself, is going to bring a shift in the industry. That's what my personal feeling is. So right now, analytics is quite expensive. If any of the players or federations whom they are using, but what we actually envisage or vision for is basically bring the analytics to everyone. Just engage everyone, be it is amateur, recreational, and create a holistic platform where around the world you can have people or panelists who can coach you, guide you, and actually increase the sporting culture around the world. So that's where we vision for, and I hope we achieve that.
Awesome. Thank you, Megha, for being part of the show, and it was wonderful talking to you and learning about Stupa Analytics and the work that you are doing around sports. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Vijay, and I really like talking to you. And you have actually asked, quite a good number of questions. This is the first time I have seen so much of a techie questions coming up. So I think you've already done your all the homework and you've already studied a lot in sports tech and all that. So nice to know, and thank you so much for having me here.